This is Gossip Farm, Episode 18. Today I messed up by swimming in a Florida spring. When I close my eyes, I can still hear the screams. Took the family to Ginny Springs, a beautiful Florida water spot for a day of swimming and a little picnic. So as I was swimming in the crystal clear water, watching my son floundering around in his water wings and just having a good old time, my son suddenly stopped, pointed at the water and said, "Look, Daddy, a lizard?" I looked over and saw that no, it was not a lizard that was swimming over to us. It was a snake. After a quick examination, I realized that this was a water moccasin, and a large one at that, heading right for us. So, yelling for my son to back away, I waded out to grab him and drag him back to shore. The snake was making a beeline for us, which is weird because most of the time they avoid human contact. I started to splash water at it, trying to slow it down enough so I could reach the shore before it got too close. So, as I was backing up, slapping water at a poisonous snake with one hand and dragging a laughing child who had no idea what was going on, with the other, I reached close enough to the shoreline to grab a branch that had fallen from a tree. It was long and pretty sturdy. It was perfect for what needed to be done. So, as the snake got in close, I went all caveman on it and bashed it a dozen times with the branch. It worked. The snake started to float away, dead as a doornail. I then realized that all the people swimming around in this water would not take too kindly to bumping into a 4-foot dead moccasin. So using the branch, I launched the snake for a stretch of woods off to my right. Well, I guess the snake was not balanced right on the branch, and I was full of adrenaline. So instead of the woods, the snake flew high into the air, drifting off to the right where plop, it landed square on a picnic table. To make matters worse, it landed on a pile of shoes that a Girl Scout troop had left when they went wading in the water. "Oh crap," was all I could think, as I began to quickly swim across the spring to remove the snake from the table. But as I was swimming, I heard them. The giggles and laughter of little 12-year-old girls returning to get their shoes. I stopped cold. I was too late. I began to swim away, trying to hide myself as I saw the first curly-haired head approach the table. There was laughing. There was chatting and talking, then there was a pause. And that is when the screaming started. If you have never heard a dozen 12-year-old girls scream in horror as they saw a large, bloody snake draped across their shoes, I cannot even begin to explain the sound. Even as I dove underwater, I heard the screaming. Sometimes, at night, I still hear the screams. Dear God, this was a sucky situation all around. Getting that kind of scare, it's no wonder a P was high on adrenaline. But did the snake have to land on the kid's shoes? Out of all the places. This is hilarious, but real scary too. Now go ahead, do it, like this video. Thanks. Next story. Today, I messed up by not realizing the cute gym employee thinks I'm a trans woman. Where to start? Ever since the COVID lockdown happened, I have been letting my hair grow out. At first, it was because all the barbershops were closed, but then even after I got my hands on a hair clipper, it became more amusing to see how far I could take this. COVID had put a stop to my dating life, so I wasn't trying to clean up for anyone. So after a year of letting my hair grow out, it is now shoulder length. Another side effect of COVID is my weight. I used to go to the gym regularly, but stopped once the gyms were closed due to COVID. I have never been the type to run on the streets, so my weight gained the COVID-25 akin to the proverbial freshman 15. I have a pretty skinny frame to begin with, so what that means is that all the fat went to my stomach and my now man boobs. There's just one last piece of information before I can start. I am the type of Asian that has trouble growing facial hair. So now we can begin. At this point, we are reaching the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of COVID. Most states are relaxing their lockdown restrictions, and my gym finally reopened last week. Eager to get back into shape, I went on the first day of the reopening. I do my thing on the machines, and maybe pushed myself a little too hard, or perhaps I am just that out of shape because I was a complete mess by the end of my workout. I make my way toward the men's room, but this cute gym employee who was sanitizing the water fountain in between the men's and women's room intercepted me. She said, "You can use that one," pointing to the women's room and in my exhausted and muscle already starting to ache state. I only thought perhaps there was something wrong with the men's room and that they closed it off. So I go in the women's room. It was empty because the gym just reopened, and I take care of business. When I come out, she said, "I think what you're doing is brave," and I for some reason thought she meant going to the gym again and said thanks. It wasn't until I got to my car that the light bulb in my head finally turned on. She must think I'm a trans woman. The long hair, man boobs, and no facial hair. Now, it wouldn't be so bad if that was the only interaction I have with her, but the next day, she came over as I was running on the treadmill to introduce herself. And because I have been going to the gym almost every day, since I'm serious about getting back into shape, she and I have developed a sort of friendship. Just today, she asked how long I've been transitioning, and I said, since COVID. I don't know how long I can keep this up for. This is the cheapest gym in my area, so I don't want to switch. OP, I'm pretty sure we've all been there. You misunderstand something, then it feels too silly to correct the mistake. Then it sucks you in a hole, and you don't know how to climb out of it. Hope P eventually figured out a way to start using the men's room. That's it for today, guys. What do you think about these situations? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.